Apologies for that. We'll bring you the live feed very shortly. But in the meantime, in today's fast-paced and ever-changing world, creativity has become a crucial skill for the youth to harness. Now, with the rise of social media and the constant need for new and unique content, it has become more important than ever for young people to showcase and monetize their creative talents. The youth of today need to find their passion and develop their skills in order to create value for themselves and become independent individuals in the society, as opposed to being a liability. It is no longer enough to simply rely on traditional career paths. Instead, it is essential for young people to think outside the box and find innovative ways to showcase their talent to the world. Trust me, that is the truth, as cliche as that might sound. But anyways, today we're going to be looking at creativity through the lens of a chef. And this is not just any chef, it's a young chef who decided to create value from her kitchen. That said, joining me now to discuss this, I'm joined by Tolu, a chef in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much, Tolu, for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. First things first, I'm going to ask, what inspired you, on this path?
Okay, so growing up, I always wasn't sure what I wanted to become. So there were so many, I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be so many different things. But I was little one day scrolling through the telly looking for what to watch, and then I came across a channel called Food Network. And I was so shocked to see that there was one channel dedicated to only food. So from that day onward, all I did was watch that channel only, and I got inspired. I wrote down recipes, I learned new different cooking techniques, learned Italian cuisine, Chinese cuisine, even learned more like Nigerian foods, everything. And then it started becoming fun for me. And instead of it being a hobby, I decided that I wanted it to become a career in the future when I grow up. So now I'm currently in a sort of culinary school studying professional cookery at college, and it really makes me happy. It's something I love and enjoy doing. And I'll always tell people, do something that you love and something that you're good at, like your natural talent. And since I've been doing it and being a chef, everything has gone wonderfully well. And I'm really happy that I decided to choose this career.
Tolu. Now, I'm also going to ask, we are in the age and time where social media helps almost every kind of business. So how would you say that social media has influenced your creativity in the kitchen?
I would say that it has given me more knowledge on how things are done. It's exposed me to different cooking techniques, different cuisines, different countries, so many things that I never thought of doing. I've gotten inspiration from social media, so many ways of filming, so many different ideas, different things. I follow a lot of different chefs and people on YouTube, Instagram, even TikTok. People post food content on so many platforms on social media, and I feel it really encouraged me to decide posting as well, because if you venture in online and social media, besides doing it for fun, you could also get monetized and be earning a living. And in this day and age, there's so many people that make money from being content creators.
Now, Tolu, I'm sure that there have been times where you've been challenged, right? For example, you learned a new, a recipe, and then you're trying to experiment, and then it falls through, or it doesn't taste as good as you envisage it to be. What is that thing that keeps you going when you have these kind of challenges where you feel like you're failing at something?
Okay, so what keeps me going is that I envision myself and where I want to be in future. And the whole reason why I even want to be a chef or anything is so I can help people who helped me during this journey, people who patronized my business when I was little, when I was an upcoming chef, people like that who pushed me forward and encouraged me are the people that I think of when I'm learning a new recipe and it doesn't taste nice and I feel so down. But in my head, I'm like, you can't give up. This is one of the little things that will put you down. Many more obstacles are going to come in this career. So don't give up at the slightest bump, because there's still going to be mountains and hills and other things I'm going to have to overcome. So instead of being put off by maybe my season was off or maybe something wasn't good, I don't let things like that push me down. Instead, I try again afterwards and do better.
So, do you also feel the pressure to create a lot of content on social media as opposed to just being creative and try to do your thing off social media? Do you feel that pressure that, oh, if I don't post my work as much on social media, I won't get a lot of visibility? And does that affect you in any way?
For me, I find a balance between them because posting on social media and everything sometimes takes out the fun of living life. Like sometimes you make a nice meal, you just want to sit down and eat it, but you have to film the process, set everything out, film it, take pictures, post it on different platforms. But I feel like you need to find a balance and you shouldn't necessarily be pressurized to posting something or doing something because you want like views or you want everybody to know that, oh, this is what you're doing. I feel like you should have the right motive for wanting to post on social media and for wanting to be a content creator. And you shouldn't just do things based off thinking, well, what will people think? You should also do what makes you happy and be 100% sure that social media and things like content creation and stuff like that is what you want to do.
Tolu, how do you handle feedback? I mean, you've mentioned that, growing up, you had people who tasted your food and it didn't taste as nice, but you refused to give up. Have you had situations where people just kind of like told you down and said things like, this is not your thing, don't cook anymore? And if you have, how did you handle that? And how do you also handle the positive feedbacks that you get?
Okay, so actually, it happens a lot when people see that a young person is trying to follow that talent and not necessarily be like a doctor, a lawyer, or something. A lot of people tend to try to put you down. What I would say when I have gotten negative feedback, I don't focus on the negative things at all. If someone is giving me positive criticism, then I will take the positive bits and leave the negative bits and completely forget about them. Because in the end, when they see that you've succeeded, they'll feel encouraged themselves to want to do as good as you've done. And for when I've gotten positive feedback, I really appreciate it. That is what keeps me going. Like the positive things people say to me is what encourages me and what keeps me going and what makes me know that this is actually something I'm good at. But so many people stereotype girls or young girls or teenagers as like being lazy and not necessarily wanting to like work. Because being a chef, you stand on your feet for hours and hours, no breaks. You have to cook, you have to prep, you have to wash, you have to chop things. And sometimes it can get very tiring. But just remember what you're doing it for. Remember the people that you can help. Remember the people that are going to be touched by your food, by the people that are going to be so happy that you took time making food for them. Because as a chef, on Christmas Day, on holidays, on days when you're supposed to be resting and spending time with your family, you'll have to like cook and stuff. So the people that are eating the food you've made for them when you're supposed to be resting would really appreciate you taking your time and not being at home resting and actually cooking for them. So I just think when criticism comes, take the good bits and use it and discard the bad and negative stuff.
All right, Tolu Popoola, a chef in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much for sharing your thought, especially allowing us to see creativity through your lens as a chef. And thanks for the word of advice there at the end. I kind of picked a lot from it. Just take the criticism that you can and do not dwell on the negatives. Thank you once again, Tolu, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, it's a wrap on Fafanua Africa. Thank you so much for watching. We're still on our creativity series, so come next week, we're still going to be bringing you very creative minds, different lenses, and we're going to be seeing how youth can harness their creativity. Do stay with us because the news will be coming up shortly. I'm Blessings Mosugu, and it has been Fafanua Africa.